why do small charities need a digital marketer? Now, with a small team of just 3 paid staff, 15 Square were struggling to find the time and resources to market the great work that they do. They had lots of content and resources available for people, but all in really difficult to find places. They really needed to continue supporting their vulnerable service users while reaching and acquiring new ones. And in 2020, they decided to hire a digital marketer to help do just that. Within just 10 months, they were already seeing a huge return on investment. And we're absolutely delighted to have that very digital marketing manager, Louise Troy, here with us today.
Good morning.
Good morning, Louise. We can't wait for you to share, among other things, why it was the best decision that 15 Square ever made. No pressure. Welcome, Louise.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Right, so I'll take you into the presentation. I hope you're all well. And here we go. So, why do small charities need a digital marketer? We've all been through COVID. We all are online. Let's get into it. So, last year, 15 Square recognised the difficulties that would be facing the charity sector. As part of our digital transformation plans, we looked at setting up virtual internships to capitalise on the opportunities provided by local universities. I responded to my local university's call for graduate job opportunities, and 15 Square found me, and it was just a perfect fit. 15 Square's biggest obstacle was the lack of awareness around significant male psychological and sexual health issues. And the importance of digital marketing was a priority for the charity, along with creating a digital education package for schools to teach in their relationship, sex and education lessons, as well as developing online support services for men and the parents of boys, because 15 Square is ultimately a men's health charity. We've achieved so much in the past year, it's unbelievable. And 2020, we were finalists for the Keele University Breaking the Mold Awards, which is my alma mater. This year, we've been shortlisted alongside an absolutely host of brilliant organisations for the Charity Governance Awards for the digital transformation that we've accomplished, and graciously hosted by the Cloth Workers Company. So thank you for letting us share our humble journey. And we hope to encourage and inspire other organisations towards the same success. So the opportunities that are available to charities are just astounding. Universities are offering interns and graduate programs to help build packages of support, because obviously the job market is all sorts of a mess at the moment for everyone. So look to your universities first. Be your best spokesperson. You know your charity, you know your users, you know your work. Be that front person. Look at if your work can include education products. Go to schools. Is there something that you do that is missing being taught to our younger people? Can you create video case studies? And can you actually employ through the universities or schools, get onto internship programs, get onto apprenticeships, teach the next generation all the wonderful things you have to offer? So what can marketing do for the charity sector? At the top here, you can see a snippet of our Twitter impressions. So this is the result of doing daily Twitter marketing, going in and finding those conversations that take place about our core subject, so men's health, and then taking part in those conversations, talking to those people who are having those issues, and you know, being there and supporting them in as many ways as we can on as many different platforms as we can. So like Chris said, we had a lot of content and resources available to people, but it was on the website. Wasn't very much traffic coming to the website, so not many people were seeing us, and we needed to get to those vulnerable service users. So by implementing the strategies that are contained within this presentation, we had an absolute fantastic return on the investment, and that's tooting my own horn a little bit. I'm sure that the board would agree. It's been fantastic. And it really has driven overall engagement across the board. So the bottom line of having a dedicated marketer who day in and day out goes through the content, creates content, looks at what the users are talking about, seeing what issues have arisen, keeping sort of, fingers out all over the place to find new information, and then relaying that back to the team, creating content that fills that need for the user, has meant our impressions and our website traffic have just skyrocketed. And the most important thing for 15 Square is that our memberships have doubled since we have employed digital marketing strategies. So that means that we found those people that needed the services that we offer, and they've liked what we offered, and they've signed up, which is a small donation to the charity, but they then get a whole wealth of support in return. For those of you that have seen a marketing funnel before, this is what it looks like. So we go from the top at the top of the funnel, you'll have awareness of the situation, consideration, they're thinking about what you offer, conversion, they've signed up to your mailing list, or they've donated, or they've interacted on a post. Loyalty, they come back again and again. Advocacy, people actively share your message. So somebody says, in our instance, male circumcision, oh, is this a good idea? I don't know. I need some information about it. I know a fantastic charity, 15 Square. They drop a link in the Twitter, on the Facebook, Reddit, all sorts of platforms, and then the advocacy starts, and that's how you fall through the funnel. So the two graphs at the side are our own data. So you can see how much the organic search has increased. So when I started, we weren't barely hitting about 500 hits, I think, of organic search rates, and we're now up to 10,000 searches. 10,000 page views and approximately 5,000 users. We do get a paid search, which I'll go through in a minute. You can see the social engagement, some from email, but the main one is referral. So that's people, sharing the posts, seeing the posts on social medias, and just engaging overall. And well, you can see on this graph by the sessions, you can see thereabouts where I started. So this big spike in the middle there is when we were featured in, I believe it was a BBC article. And obviously that, huge channel and will drive a lot of engagement, but it quickly drops off. Engaged, consistent marketing is where we've seen the spike. And I think that one, again, was another BBC article, but you can see how much more it through the statistics and the analytics. So you can measure effective strategy by keeping a track on all of these things. So you've got analytics programs on all of the social media. You have Google Analytics. There's lots of different platforms, and I'll go over a few later if anybody needs them. And just keeping a check on all of these different metrics, you'll get a feel for what your users want, who wants to hear what from you, and what conversations you're missing in, and what conversations you want to be part of. So here's my gift to you all. It is a collection of the tools that I use every single day. So Canva is a graphics and digital creation platform. They have a free for non-profits option. I think it's normally £10 to £12 a month, but free is free. And you can make Instagram stories, properly sized images for all the different platforms. They're great for email tools, just a whole host of templates. The free account comes with access to all of the library of wonderful images. So you've got everything from stickers and clip art to professional photographs to really help boost your content. On the note of images, Unsplash. So Unsplash is a free library of photographs and images that you can use copyright free. We tend to give the credit that pops up when you download. You'll see a little thank you for the author underneath, just to make sure that we're not hitting any copyright issues. It's a headache none of us want. But it means that, you know, you don't have to spend the budget producing beautiful images. You can get them for free, credit the author, and your content is so much more engaging. SEMrush has, it is normally a paid platform for all of the whistles and bells, but they have a lot of free tools, and you can sign up all of your different platforms and it will keep a check on all of the analytics and send you a nice email of this is what's changed over the week, and you haven't got to go into each platform over and over. It just cuts hours and hours off your working week. And Ahrefs is how you can audit the website, and it will tell you what's broken, what needs. It'll give you lots of tips. It's a little complicated to get on board with, but once you learn it, it's absolutely invaluable. And all the links will be in the slides. So Google Ad Grants. If you haven't got Google Ad Grants and you are an eligible charity, you are missing out on a huge opportunity. So one of the first things I did was sign 15 Square up. And they provide a ad in kind. So they don't give you the money, they give you a credit of, I believe it's just about £8,000 a month to spend on Google adverts. Which means, well, I don't know how anybody else's charity are, but 15 Square didn't have £8,000 a month to spend on advertising on Google. Being part of the nonprofits program means that we have access to that. And as you can see, it does a lot for your conversions and traffic. So if you're eligible, it's $10,000 a month in kind. They're text-based adverts that appear on the Google search results. You'll go underneath the ones that have actually paid money, but you will be above the regular search results. You can't overspend. So you'll set the amount that you want to spend. I think it's $329 a day. And even if you go over that, if you set it to go over that, it will never spend more than the $10,000 you're allotted, because once it reaches that threshold, your ads will just stop showing and they'll show back up next month when it refreshes. So don't worry about that. And so if your SEO is maybe, so search engine optimization is letting you down a little bit, the ads are just absolutely invaluable. The application process is quite simple. There's lots of how-tos online, but once you've got through the process, you just have to stay compliant, and well, the sky's the limit with the analytics. There are a couple of rules. So you can advertise on keywords, but it can't be like just a single word. It has to be like a phrase. The only exceptions to that are medical terms. So for us, it was circumcision and phimosis, and the medical terms around our field of work. Those are allowed. So it means that 15 Square is now part of the conversations on circumcision and men's health in a much more significantly larger way than we have been before. So when I started, I did a bit of keyword research and I did a bit of market research, and nowhere did 15 Square turn up under any of those key terms to do with the area of which we work. Now we're maybe the fourth or fifth link that you find, sometimes the top, dependent on what the conversation's about. So we're right there, front and center. So I do recommend that you try Answer the Public. It's a free search. Put in a question and it will spit out lots and lots of different iterations of what people are searching online around your subject. And it's just a wealth of questions that you can go through and answer them for people. Blogs, videos, lots of content that you can create just from the search results. So you can use that to inform your Google keyword research. Once you have the Google ads, it also has the keyword tool, which you put in a keyword or a phrase and it will tell you how many people are searching for it on a monthly basis. So you can check different turns of phrases and find the most profitable one and put your advertising dollars to work on that keyword. So I'm sure you know already, but if people can see the impact that their donations or input are having, then they're more likely to get involved. Case studies are an absolutely fantastic way to do this. And it can take many forms. So simple status on social media, somebody shared their story, you share it from your account and you make a comment on it or support. A page on your website where you can gather all sorts of stories from people, create them into a downloadable PDF, call back to Canva, fantastic for creating those videos or podcasts completely. So consider the best format for your target audience and really get stuck in. So what kind of marketing that I do is called inbound marketing. So if you're looking to hire marketing, hopefully some of these words will help you create a job advert and interview process for people that might not necessarily know what marketing is. So it uses content to attract people to build a community of individuals who are interested in becoming part of the charitable cause. So for 15 Square, our core products are a blog, and our articles have to be well optimized and promoted, rich with content, and the frequency of how often we post is an important equation too. From the research, it shows that frequent production of quality content is seen as the biggest return in traffic in the history of the site. So we are an authority, we have experience on the subject of male health and circumcision, we write about it, we research about it, we tell people, and then they read the content and it builds that cycle of trust of, if I want to know about this subject, 15 Square's probably got something on it. It's an essential tool, and I recommend blogging for anyone that can manage it. And the education project. So this is an invaluable tool where we have researched the things that are currently being taught to our young people in schools around bodily autonomy and their intimate health. And we found that for boys, it is significantly less complex and less they don't get as much content as the girls get on how their body functions and how to keep themselves safe and what normal looks like and when to go to a doctor, and what the differences could be between people who have gone through a circumcision or have not and are intact, and what those different things might mean to a person's body. And it's just not good enough. So we decided that we will create these materials, and they are completed, I believe, and they are out at schools for trial at the moment to be included in the relationship sex education. And so by that, we've taken all of that experience, created a package of support that hopefully we can sell, support the charity to keep us running, and provide invaluable resources for young people and teachers to keep themselves safe. And that's just the core of everything for us. So when you're looking for a marketer, look for somebody who really grasps these basic components. Content creation of your core message. So somebody who can, even if they don't know immediately, can spend the time, get to know all of your content, get to know all of your users, and sort of get themselves with a persona of your charity, sort of put on the hat of, as I do often, like I put on my 15 Square hat and I go and I engage with the communities and I talk to affected men and families and mothers, and I try and help, and I meet them where they're at. And some will convert and come through to the website and sign up, and we've had fantastic support with that. Others will have seen the message and they'll take a few times to come back. And sometimes you see a message 10 or 12 times before you finally decide to go and interact with it. But it's there, and the seed is there to engage with the content. And so wherever these conversations happen, you should be there too. Online information is easily understood and shared. Make the content, so if you have a younger audience, Look at what's popular online, do a bit of research, see if there are any music tracks that speak to them that are being shared, especially on TikTok viral content, something like that. See if you can create a piece of content that matches that, so you get involved in those conversations too. Or are people really enjoying sort of interactive stories on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter with the new reels or tools? Can you create something that blends in with that, and you're in that space, then you're part of those conversations and people will see you. So using the strategy, our social media following has increased by 337%. It keeps me very busy because we get lots of comments, but that's fantastic. And you wouldn't believe the amount of people who need physical, mental health support, and there just isn't enough for men out there, and 15 Square provide an absolutely wonderful wealth of resources. This image I loved, just absolutely loved. So for those of us that understand Venn diagrams, the circles are their own sphere and how they interact. So by having your content, putting it in the right place at the right time, it's the perfect combination to find those people who you can help the most. It speaks to donors, it speaks to fundraisers, and it speaks to your users. Connect with people on a personal level, motivate them to support your cause, and spread your mission as widely as possible. Below are the metrics that show the impact of us implementing just these strategies. So as you can see, when I started, 243 users, we're now 11,400. And the sessions, so the amount of times people are on our website, 14,000 versus 316. It's no comparison. This is where you need to be. So for those of you that don't know what SEO is, it's search engine optimization. So it's making your content fit the search results as best as you can so that you rank up and you're the ones that are seen first and foremost. So here's a few quick tips that you can help. And this is a breakdown of our audience. So Twitter followers, Facebook followers, direct supporters, so those are the members that have signed up with these two, and our mailing list. Instagram is growing slowly, but I'm only one person. I've only got so many hands. So boost up your key pages with laser targeted internal links. So go through your pages and see if you have mentioned a particular topic that you would talk about on another page. If so, link that word to that other page with a hyperlink. It stitches your content together, and think of it like a web or maybe a knitting project. Sort of each page needs to logically follow into another one. Where can you keep people on the site and keep them engaged? It's fairly simple, but it can give you unrivaled responses and keep people on the site. Look at your traffic as a whole. It's fairly difficult because you'll have lots and lots of analytics, and you can get analytic brain meltdown, and I do on a regular basis if I get really stuck into it. Use Google Search Console. Take a look at the pages that are dropping in traffic and the terms that you're dropping. Analyze it, see if you can re-optimize it, so change it to make them better. Can you make them more succinct? Can you add more resources or a longer form piece of content that speaks to that question that people are asking? By doing that, we have changed a few of our pages. We had a page for parents who are questioning circumcision and wanted to know more information. And we had a small article about it, but it lacked the substance. And so I spent a good bit of time with that page, put in resources, academic articles, public speakers that have spoken out about the things that parents want to hear, and provided it all on one page. And that page now gets, I think, 10,000 hits a week. So where it got maybe 2 or 3. So double check your on-page optimization. There's a really good Chrome tool called SEO Meta in one click. I took a screenshot of it, and you'll see up in the corner, that's what it looks like when it's on your bar. And you can hit it and it will tell you the problems that are on the page. Keyword is missing. So I took it out so that you would see that it'll tell you where there's a problem. Tells you if your title is long enough or too long. Is the description long enough or too long? Because if it's too long, then the description will cut off in the middle of the search result and you lose the information you were trying to get to your users. By making sure those titles and those descriptions are optimized, you get to dictate what the user sees and what message they get. Because if you don't dictate it, Google will do it for you, and it may not pick the correct thing that you would like front and center. So go through your website and re-optimize as much as you can. Back to blogging. So here are a few ideas. Update your audience on recent events. Are there any personal stories of people that you helped or things that are occurring in your field? Can you write about them? Has there been a legislation change? Has there been a fundraising event? Has a celebrity had something happen that's in your field? Any sort of things like that. Can you write about it and tell your users about it? Because they'll then keep coming back. I want to know about this subject. You write about this subject, you're providing that service. So lots and lots of subjects that you can cover. Determine what's relevant for your audience and what they'd like to read, and write it and provide it for them. Videos are the fastest growing tool out there for marketing. Have the power to go viral in a few minutes. I'm sure we've all seen a piece of viral marketing content at this point and gone, that's really good. We'd all love to do them. It's a combination of a million factors, and nobody can tell you exactly what things are going to go viral. But communicate the message. Tell people the impact that their donations have got in a video. Have you got access to some celebrities? Have you got a patron? Or even just, your team. Celebrate them, get them talking about your charity's message, produce a video, get it out there for the world. So tap in to any skills that you currently have in your charity. A lot of people, either a volunteer or a trustee, may already have some video editing skills. See if you can tap into that. If not, see if you have the budget to have a few videos made. Having those video content will really help. So highlight the volunteers who've been involved. Showcase them. Like, volunteers are the just angels of the charity world. Celebrate them, show the world them, and in turn, tell people about your message. Shoot an interview. Find your supporters, interview them about why they like the charity. What does it provide for them? Do you have an upcoming campaign? Do you have a fundraising campaign or a matching donation campaign? Have you been shortlisted for an award? Tell people about it. Shout your charity's message from the rooftops. Answer the question absolutely every donor wants to know. Why should I donate to you? Make that content, get it out into the world, and be super passionate, because the charity people I've met, absolutely every one of them is so passionate. Who knows when the next person who needs you will find you. Host virtual fundraisers and events. You're at one now. They work. People are very engaged with them. Use video conferencing or Zoom, Facebook Live. Whether you are going to do them just to ask for donations or simply to take part, raise an awareness, it's a good tool. It can be fun. It's very effective. For 15 Square, we have a package of meetings from members called Together Not Alone, as a lot of the people who are affected by our mission have deep psychological issues and still are not receiving the support that they need from mental health services. So we do our best to provide as much as we can for those people, and they have been an incredible tool. People from all over the world that normally would have not been able to go to the office in Stone for the physical in-person meetings join in, and we've had just absolutely wonderful engagements of people who would never have spoken before, have felt comfortable enough to open up, share their experiences and talk about their pain to people that some of them they've only just met. And it's just an unbelievable experience when they do so. It takes my breath away every time we hold one. And these meetings have formed part of the reason that the Charity Governance Awards have shortlisted us for digital transformation. So I think that takes me to, thank you very much, everyone. And I'll take back over to Chris. All our information is there, and I believe the slides will be produced and sent out as a PDF. I apologise if there's been things in the chat. I have seen them go, but I've had to sort of go over to that. So back to you, Chris.
Well, thank you very, very, very much, Louise. That was incredible. Really, really inspiring. Thank you for sharing that story. There's an overwhelming amount of questions.
Oh, Christ.
5 or 6 minutes. So I'm only going to pick a couple, but
right.
You are hanging around, Louise. I'm sure you'll get.
I am, yes.
People coming over and have a bit of a chat with you in the networking space afterwards. I'm going to go with there's 4 here I really want to try and get through in the next sort of 5.
Okay.
First of all, from Jake Kirby, how do you optimize Google ad grants as the charity he's currently work for is really struggling with keywords?
Okay. So in the Google Ads, there is the keyword research tool. Go into it and just play about with iterations of the words that are important to you. So for 15 Square, obviously the word circumcision is our main word. It's a medical term. It has lots and lots of hits. But things like men's physical health, or I have a soreness or a swelling in that, particular area. Mm-hmm. Trying to keep it.
Yeah.
All those sorts of things. Search them, go through, think about how you would interact with the search if you were a user looking for the help that your charity provides. So I think one of your other contributors is the bloody good period, isn't it? And a lot of things about period poverty. People necessarily wouldn't search immediately for period poverty. Somebody who needs the services would go, where do I find free period products? Mm-hmm. Put that into the Google keyword research tool. It'll hit you out with a list. For us, which is how we came up with the Together Not Alone, a lot of men were searching for, I feel alone with this subject.
Really?
Is there anybody else who's talking about it? That's how we came up with the name of it.
Yeah.
So optimize those, go through and look for the ones that are not, it'll tell you either high competition or low competition. Go for the lower competition ones. You can get more of them and spend a lot more of your budget wisely by doing that.
And optimizing your cost per click and stuff as well, which is
the cost per click. Have a look at, because you'll spend more on the high competition words, and so you'll run through your budget a lot quicker by going for the lower competition but better volume words. By looking at those differences, you can make the most out of that budget.
And sorry, I'm going off piece a little bit here. Did you just put yourself in that mindset, or did you talk to your users to understand what they were searching for?
Both of those things. You've got to do both. It's got to be user-generated content first and foremost. So look at what people are saying online. Do those answer the public. Go to answer the public, type in your topic and have a look at all the different iterations that will come out. So if we put in circumcision and people were like, I don't know about circumcision, should my baby be circumcised? All these different questions, put those questions that you get from Answer the Public into the Google Keywords tool, see what volume they are, see what kind of competition, because it'll tell you whether they're high competition or low competition. Pick a larger volume of those low competition but higher volume keywords, spend your budget there.
Amazing advice. Yeah, thank you very much.
Very welcome.
There's a really good question next from Roseanne Tai. I hope I've said your surname right there, Roseanne. There's so much potential for work and growth, and with a really small team, there never feels like enough time to do everything. Throughout that presentation, it was clear to see you were doing so much. What are your tips for prioritizing work and digital?
So I go first and foremost with, I have a content creation day on a Monday. So pick out your core pieces that you want to do and make them a focus. So if you need to, so somebody's written a new blog post on the team, you then want to advertise that. Get that on a scheduler. So there are a few free options, or you can go through Twitter or Facebook or whatever platform you're doing and schedule those posts to advertise and market that new content that you've created. Get them scheduled up to post regularly to update your users, and then that's done for you, and those can happen in the background. Analytics, go on to SEMrush. They have a free host of tools. You can plug in all of your social media, Google Analytics, you can track all of the things. Same with Ahrefs. Get it set up. It'll send you an email if there's every week on what's changed. And so once a week, go in and look what's gone right, do it again.
Yeah.
Make it better. What's gone wrong, change it, have a look at it, and do an audit once a week. You'll save so much time. Because and you can get deep into Google Analytics, and it can take forever to get.
Another event entirely, that.
It is. It's just a complete thing. And if you had never seen it before, or you have to open it for the first time, you can just sort of go like, what's this? I haven't the faintest idea what I'm looking at now. Go and take it to SEMrush or Ahrefs and let them produce the graphs and produce the ups and downs and much more user-friendly understanding of what is and what isn't working.
Amazing. One very quick last question. How often do you publish a new blog article?
How long's a piece of string? When there's something to say, we need a new blog post at least once a week. At least once a week. More, great, but have one piece of content a week on something that's happened. Or, and then you can go for short pieces of, we've received donations, it's allowed us to do this, put some images in and tell people what you've done that week. Or you've had a legislation change that's in your area, massive piece of content, write about it. What's going to change for your users? What does that affect? You've been shortlisted for an award. Brilliant. Put it front and center on your website, but write an article about it.
Wow.
How did you do it? What did you do? All of those links and back and forth links, and your website will grow and your user base will grow. And we've seen the proof of that.
Exactly. Proof is in the pudding. Thank you very much, Louise. You're an inspiration. Thanks very much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.